let's talk some teasers. I wrote down 4 options. And what I don't love is half of the options are ones where we're teasing down or we're taking favorites and bringing that number down. But maybe that's the way to go, right? It's been a month now where the favorites keep on hitting. We had 14 of 15 favorites win outright this past week, which is just ridiculous. One of the very few times we've ever seen that since lines have been part of this gig. But Sam, when I say teasers for week number 10, where's the first place you're going?
Chicago. Chicago from 6 to pick. I have the Patriots as a bottom 3 offense and a bottom 3 defense. And honestly, this number feels a little light at 6. I could make the case that it probably should be north of 7. Now, organically, if you're a bookmaker, there's no reason to make Chicago 7.5, because then you invite a lot more money on the dog, because the narrative will be, well, the Bears shouldn't be laying a touchdown or more. And I understand that perception. So that's why they open at 6.5 and let the money decide. There's no reason to open at 7 or 8. There's no reason, because you know you're going to write it down to 7, if not through 7. So let them fight around the 6. This has gone down to 5.5 already this week and then got blasted back up. It's 6 right now at BetMGM. No, 6.5 at BetMGM.
No, 6.5. Yeah.
Yep. But there are several 6s. I see more 6s than 6.5s. So Chicago from 6 down to pick, win the game, and then move on. I don't really like the Bears' big picture this season. Don't think they're making the postseason, but this New England team is freaking trash. And their offensive line is bad. Their rookie quarterback doesn't have any weapons, and their coach is already calling out the team for being soft. New England might only win 2 more games this year, and I would be surprised if they won at Chicago against a pretty decent Bears defense. Now, we pay attention to the injury report.
Huge.
Sweat's important. Brisker's important. Gordon's important. We'll see how that plays out. But even if those guys, if all those guys aren't playing, I still don't think the Patriots win the game, because they are a mess on every side of the ball. Even special teams, they're a mess. Chicago from 6 down to pick.
Yeah. The Sweat thing was huge this past week. That injury changed a lot. And then you were quickly reminded what this defense was closer to in the first half of last year before they acquired him via trade from Washington. And the injury that's kind of going to go under the radar for the Bears is Billings, and he's going to be out for quite some time. He's strong against the run. And I'm not saying that that's going to be a major factor this week because of the Patriots rushing attack, but, moving forward, like if the Sweat thing is lingering and Billings looks like he's going to be out for quite some time, looks like you might be able to run on this Bears defense. Passing against them is tough when everybody's healthy with Jalen Johnson out on one side, but you might be able to run on them moving forward. And that's what Arizona did all day. It didn't matter which running back was out there, over 200 rushing yards against a team that's been referred to as a top 5 defense. Right now, they're not playing like it.
No, they're not. And the Patriots, to your point, cannot throw. 29 out of 32 in terms of EPA per pass, cannot throw, and the Bears are good against the pass. So this will be a game where New England likely tries to line up and run the football. They're middle of the pack at running. The Bears are middle of the pack at stopping the run. I don't like New England in this spot. I am not a fan.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bears win this game by 2 touchdowns. So I will be on Chicago teaser and also lay 6.
All right. A line that you mentioned that you're hearing might be going up. So do we tease it now? I'm talking Philly down to 1 at Dallas. Road favorites, very successful this year. Dallas awful at home. We know the injury situation. Don't know if Lamb's going to be out there. We know Dak's going to be out for quite some time. Like they're saying
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush 2. Where's he going? Where's he throwing the ball?
They got Mingo. They got Jonathan Mingo now. Everything is fixed. What a deal.
Jeez, why are you giving up an asset for Jonathan freaking Mingo? Like for what? For this year? It doesn't matter. I think Parsons is going to return. Whatever. We'll find out later this week. Philly -1. What do you think? It's probably, if you tease it later in the week, it's probably going to be like 2.5, right?
I think we get to 8.5. I mean, Tony Miller is adamant that he's probably going to go to 8, and he's at a squarer shop, if you will, in Vegas. A
Okay.
lot of public action there, and he also gave a quote about. let me find the quote real quick. You'll appreciate this. So I'm asking him about, they wanted me to write about Cowboys Eagles because Cowboys always click, Eagles always click, and then we just get into general NFL. And I asked him about this run the public has been on, winning Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. And he said, quote, "I always tell my bosses, look, this will happen once or twice a season." And then his boss reached out one day and said, "Tony, it's happened in 3 of the last 4 weeks." Tony said, "What do you want me to do?" He's like, "The favorites are winning on Sunday all day. They're winning Sunday night and they're winning Monday night." He's like, "We're paying out 9 and 10 team parlays like you wouldn't believe." And his
Oh,
bosses don't want to hear that though,
no.
because for every season going back, and Tony's been at the Nugget for 10, 15 years, every season it's, well, this will happen once or twice where all the favorites win and the majority of the favorites cover. Tony, this has happened in 3 or 4 weeks. And Tony's like, "What do you want me to do?" What do you
Yeah.
want me to do?
I think it's so funny. These guys get in trouble. I don't know about getting trouble is the right way to frame it, but they're getting calls from the principal's
They get
office
screamed at. They get
based
cussed out.
based on what these stupid NFL coaches are doing sometimes. All right, another favorite down. What do you think about the Chargers down? Going up against the Titans. So that means bringing this from 7.5 down to 1.5. This game's in LA. Titans stink. Harbaugh against Callahan. We don't like teasing the favorites down, but this is another one where it makes sense.
It does. We are just teasing against bad teams, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm talking about teasing against New England, Chicago 6 to pick. You have talked about teasing Philly against Dallas, 7.5 to 1.5, and now the Chargers against the Titans, 7.5 to 1.5. It's really good math, and it's compounded by the fact that we are talking about maybe 3 of the worst teams in football.
Yep.
I mean,
So
throwing out Carolina and throwing out, maybe one other team. I mean, we're talking about teasing against 3 of the worst teams in the NFL.
did you write down any dogs up?
I
got a
did. I
couple.
wrote down Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah, Pittsburgh,
So did
2.5 to
I.
8.5. Yeah,
So
that
did
one's
I.
easy.
Yeah.
It's easy
And
math. I'm not saying it's an easy play, but I mean, in terms of teasing a dog up, this number opened 3, I want to say. No, 2. Wow. Look ahead was 2. And then when they reopened it in Vegas, they opened it 2.5.
And they
So
went to
it
3.
really hasn't. Yeah, it's sitting 3 at a couple places, but Tomlin from 2.5 to 8.5 against a rookie quarterback. Yeah, sign me up.
Yep, every single time. It's not a situation where we're going against a bad team, but we feel okay about it. Let me ask you this. We talked about liking Pittsburgh +3 yesterday, but now at most shops, down 2.5, mostly 2.5. Do you ever bet a side and then include a team on a teaser? Or is it one or the other?
Like double dip?
Yeah, like with Pittsburgh here. That's
Yeah,
basically what I'm
I would
asking.
take.
Yeah.
I would take the 3 is very important in the NFL. It's the most important number in the National Football League. It's a little bit pricey at BetMGM right now, but you can take 3. If you know you're going to bet Pittsburgh on Sunday and you're on the fence right now, but you'll probably get there, please take the 3 at -115 right now, because there's a very good chance this is sitting 2.5 everywhere. I mean, the sharpest books in the world are all 2.5 right now. 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. There's 1-3 at even money if you want to lay it with Washington. You have to take 3. So MGM has 3 -15. And then if you want to tease 3 up to 9, you go through 4, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, 8.5's a little bit dead, but whatever. I mean, you want to get to 8. You want to get through 8 and to 8.
Yeah, I don't think it's getting back to 3. Do you? I mean, some of the 2.5s out there are our juice to -120. So that's kind of the debate. Are we going to get back to 3, or you just take it the extra 5 cents at most spots?
Take 3.
Probably just take it. They're all going to be
Take
gone.
3.